So this is the brand new LED cob light from Weeylite, the Ninja 400 Mark II. And as you can see, we haven't even opened it yet. I figured let's do this together. We'll open it up and we'll walk through it and see what we think to it. So firstly, as you can see, lovely bag that it's arrived in here. Very nice. Who doesn't like a bit of this? In the top of here, it feels a bit heavy. We've got some straps, some instructions, and first discovery, there's a remote control in here. Now, if I lift that up a bit, you can see what's in the main box as we open it up. Quite simple, really. We've got our light, there's our controller, a clamp, and a massive transformer power pack here. And that's it for the box. So first impressions, very nice, very strongly built. I'm liking, we'll come back to this, but I'm liking these strong grips on here. Yeah, that is feeling very secure. This is the power lead. This is going to run from this to here. That's going to run out. We'll connect all this up in a second. So this clamp, I believe I've seen somebody else looking at this. This clamp here then is designed to go onto the light stand, and then we can attach this this control unit here. Wow! So this is going to attach onto this, and there. I knew I'd work it out. That's going to attach onto here, clamp onto the side of our light stand, all the power leads, so we can control it from here. Did spot earlier that there's a remote control here as well, so I don't have to keep getting up and down to change the settings. And there is also an app, so I can work this from my phone as well if I want to. Now, there's a lot of use cases for this really, and I'm speaking very much to me sitting here at this desk. At the minute, I've got this Godox light and we've got this big dome on the top of it that we absolutely love. And so I'm just looking into replacing, upgrading this. One of the restrictions with this Godox light is that it is just one color. It only comes in at 5,600. And there are times when I could just do with warming it up a bit. Maybe at the minute, the window's open, there's some daylight coming in. It's a warmer color than what this is giving me. And that's always been a frustration ever since we moved across from LED panels across to this type of lighting. We also help people set up in their own studios at home, and quite often there's indoor lighting that they've already got on. It's hard to turn all that off or to change all the bulbs around in the existing lights. And it's way easier if we can actually, with an LED panel in the past, just to dial that in, warm up the white and actually match it up in the camera so it all looks the same color. So we haven't been able to do that, and it's been a slight frustration. But until recently, I haven't been able to get a decent bicolor light like this without spending a lot of money. And talking of price, I should point out this one at the minute is $399, and the Godox that I'm replacing with this is $130. So it's 3 times the price. In terms of the power, it is also giving me 3 times the value, really. That's a 60 watt light. This is a 150 watt light. So we're almost matching that. When you add in the bicolor of it and a few of these other features, in fact, they've got some special effects in here that we're going to come to at the end, some presets, some lighting controls that I think will be quite fun. Now, I ought to just point out that as we're talking about this and the 60 watt of the Godox, there is actually a little brother of this. This is the Ninja 400. There is a Ninja 200, but it isn't built as strong. It's designed more to be a portable light. You can actually get a little handle and hand hold the thing if you were out on a shoot, and it doesn't have this big U-shaped bracket on here. It's just held on one side. I'm not convinced it would take the weight of a big softbox on the front of it. So I reckon we connect all these cables up, get the power on, and we'll try this against the other one, put in this softbox on and see what we think to it. This could do with a quicker release. Now that feels a little bit of a design fault. Firstly, in that the power lead comes into the top and not the bottom. It just feels like we've gone back to front, but that's definitely the right way up. And this now isn't going to be long enough to fit the floor. So really I need to drop this unit down so that this can fit on the floor, or I've got to cable tie this to my stand. For now, I'm just going to leave it sitting on the end of the desk here. But as you can see, I do like my cable management. It's definitely not going to be staying out like this for long. So we have power. Now I should have pointed out we're about to change over the diffuser on the front of this to put this dome on. And these are all a standard Bowens fit on here. So if you're looking on Amazon or somewhere and you're buying soft boxes or globes like this, you just need to search for one that is a Bowens fit, which is by far the standard. And right on the top here is a really nice little release lever. And a lot nicer than the little pin that I've got on the Godox one. So that can go. Interestingly, while I'm taking this off, in terms of size, very much the same on here. I gotta say, I'm expecting this is going to do a better job of locking in and holding that in place. This one has always felt a little bit flimsy on here when I put a big light on the front of it. I'm quite excited to see how this actually is going to lock in place, and I think will be super tight. Now, I've just struggled with that, and I would normally say to anybody, don't connect it up there, connect it down here and lift it up and put it on in one go. But because we were putting it together in stages, I've got myself stuck there. But there we go, it's on. And I'm right, this is really, really good. Wherever I place that, I tighten it up, there's no movement at all on it. I'm used to that being in place and accepting it's going to drop a little bit, but come on. So, should we turn it on? Whew! Should we turn it down? Right, so we can take it right down to 0. And that's it on at 1%. And to be honest, this is probably about where I normally have the Godox light. So this might be a little bit overkill for the office space that we've got it in. Now I'm just looking down these controls on here, and this all looks quite familiar to me actually with the remote control that was with that Godox light. That I've got a channel, I can set of channels and then groups within that. If I've got multiple lights, I could work these then from a remote control or from the app and group them together so they all change light together, or I can do them individually and from one control place be working multiple ones. Now this genuinely is surprising me how bright it is. It would be interesting to put this alongside my Godox and just see, but I don't see in this space that I'm ever going to want to take this really up about 10%. There it is at 10. There is actually a quiet mode in here, although I have to say I can't hear a thing out of this. So this one dial around here then is adjusting first of all the power level, and then if I press this in and turn it again, it's now adjusting the temperature. You can see how that works and the difference and how good this could be to dial in with lighting or a different environment, or just to give a different feel to a look. So with that dialed in, when I wait, now that's just stopped flashing, and now I'm back to this being a power level control. So we've got a power, we can adjust the intensity, the brightness, we can adjust the color temperature on here. The modes, the setting is for the groups and the channels that are on here. We've got this quiet mode. It'll work when you're under 50% power, but be interesting to see if we were out. And to be honest, let's think about this. For me to be this close in, and this has been a concern with people in the past that have said about certainly that Godox SL60. We've got two of them. One of them seems very silent. The other one, you can hear the fan in the back of it. And I've had customers say, my microphone's picking up that fan. If you're this close in and your microphone's near to the light, you're only ever going to need this thing down to kind of 10% power or thereabouts. So this fan isn't ever going to kick in and become a problem. It's really when you're up 50% plus that you might be getting fan noise coming out of it. And in that scenario, it's going to be further away. I'm ticking this off. This is silent as far as I'm concerned, standing and working here. As I set this thing up now, I'll reposition this, get it in place, try and get it so this battery pack can fit down below. Or I think I'm going to cable tie this to the bottom of this stand. I'm assuming that when I leave this, we're at 10% and 4,000. I just want to know that when I come back to it, it is going to come back, yes, to exactly the same place. That would be a pain. The remote control works the same thing. What else is there to say about it? We were going to have a look at these scenes, weren't we? So I can go into scenes in here. And again, at the minute it's flashing, it's telling me it's doing the brightness. If I press it, we're now going to run through these effects. So I've no idea what they are. This is number 1. What's this, lightning, do we think? 2, 3, 4, Just maybe like a firelight, a crackling light, potentially. If only there was some instructions that would actually tell me what these were. This is way more fun. 7, 8. Now, I don't really know when and why. Well, maybe if they were set off, if you were on a bigger set and you were filming this and you wanted just to have this light coming in. In fact, I'll tell you where I know this has worked. One of our guys at church, they were doing a big media production and they were using green screen and they'd wanting to have a look like there was this fire glowing. They were all sitting around a fire. And I know that with an LED panel, this was what they'd done. They'd put a light down there with one of these sort of fire effects. It's like that crackling fire. So yeah, there are occasions absolutely when you would use it. Just probably not me while I'm sitting here doing one of my lives. I don't see me using this. Now I need to get back out of it. There we go, I think we're back to normal. So I'm very happy with this, and we will do a longer term review on it, I guess, when we've had a play with it, if we find there's anything that we're trying to work out. But there's not really a lot to say. It's a 150 watt light. It's a Bowen's fit. It'll take onto here. It's running silently. I can run it from an app. I can run it from a remote control. It's just a functional item, isn't it? That we just want to be able to set and forget. I want to come out here to my office and know that I turn it on, turn it off, and it just works. Well, I hope you found that useful and interesting and worthy of the good old thumbs up. If you're not familiar with seeing a globe light like this and you're thinking, why is he using that instead of a regular softbox? Check out this video over here next and see why we use one over the other and just a nice little comparison video. We'll see you over there.